We have the ultimate showdown for you today. Finasteride versus Minoxidil, the two most popular hair loss treatment on the market, and a head-on comparison. Which one is better? Which will give you more hair? And what should you consider before starting treatment? Stay tuned. Just before we get started today, I highly recommend getting a copy of our new free ebook, The Ultimate Hair Regrowth System. If you're interested in the step-by-step system for getting thicker, healthier hair and fixing hair loss at the root, then this is a must-read. Just check out the link below this video, enter your email, and grab your free copy now. Thanks for joining us today, and let's get straight into it. We're going to be comparing finasteride to minoxidil in various domains, like their mechanism of action, results you're likely to get, cost, and so forth. We're going to go over the data, and we're going to give you the winner in each category. And at the end, we're going to give you our verdict on the overall winner. So we're starting off with the big one. Efficacy. Which of the two medications is likely to give you more hair? So let's look at finasteride first. Approximately 80 to 85% of finasteride users will stop their hair loss, and this effect typically lasts a minimum of 5 years. After around the 5-year mark, some users will develop resistance to finasteride, and at that point, their hair loss will progress once again. But for most men, the benefits of finasteride will last a lot longer, 10, 20 years, and for some guys, even a lifetime. Now, when it comes to actually regrowing hair, around 2 out of 3 finasteride users will see some regrowth, and this is typically more pronounced in the crown area. But finasteride can also give regrowth in the frontal and mid-frontal areas. This regrowth is generally mild, around 10%. Now, minoxidil cannot match these numbers, even at the stronger 5% formulation. Around 40% of minoxidil users will see some regrowth. Remember, this compares to around 2/3 of users for finasteride, so there's quite a difference there. The effect of minoxidil is also likely to wear off sooner. If you respond well, you typically get peak hair around the 12-month mark, and then you typically go on a slow but steady decline over time. But like finasteride, the users who do respond well to minoxidil will typically be able to keep their new hair for a number of years, provided they do stick to treatment, of course. Because the one thing that's common to both medications is that results only last as long as the treatment. Once you've stopped them, any new hair that you've grown out will fall out within 4 to 6 months. In summary, statistically, you're likely to get better results with finasteride, and these results are likely to last longer. Now, this doesn't mean that there won't be exceptions to this. So for example, non-responders to finasteride who switch over to minoxidil and do see some results. Typically, it's going to be more common the other way around. And one last thing, with both medications, you get the best results with less advanced baldness. So you're likely to get better results if you're a Norwood 2 or 3 compared to being a Norwood 4 or 5. Winner, finasteride. Mechanism of action. So finasteride and minoxidil work in completely different ways. Finasteride works by inhibiting the production of DHT, which is the male hormone implicated in male pattern hair loss. DHT is converted from testosterone via an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase. Without this enzyme, your body cannot convert the testosterone to DHT, and finasteride blocks this enzyme. It does this by binding to it and making it biologically inactive. The end result is a 70% drop in the DHT levels in your body. But minoxidil works in a completely different way. Its mechanism of action has nothing to do with DHT whatsoever. It's actually not even related to male pattern hair loss at all. Minoxidil ignores the DHT in your system, and it basically just directly stimulates your follicles to generate more hair. It can basically do this on the beard, the scalp, the body, basically wherever you apply it. And it can work regardless if you have pattern hair loss, alopecia areata, or several other types of hair loss. So minoxidil, you could say, is non-specific. It's more indiscriminate and its mechanism of action. And when you judge a medication by its mechanism of action, you're looking at how targeted it is, how selectively it works. The more targeted, the better. And we basically know for sure that DHT is somehow implicated in male pattern hair loss, meaning finasteride will only work for male pattern hair loss, nothing else. Now, the problem with finasteride and the reason it can't grow a lot of hair is that there's a lot more to male pattern hair loss than DHT. But DHT certainly is a big piece of the male pattern hair loss puzzle, and finasteride was developed to target specifically this molecule. Winner, finasteride. Ease of use. Okay, this one is clear cut. Minoxidil is a topical treatment and you have to apply it on your scalp twice a day. So that's 2 times every day that you're gonna have to make room in your schedule to use minoxidil, unless you use one of the special formulations that are meant for once daily use. If you shampoo your hair before the Rogaine, you have to sit and wait till it dries off first. And then if you wanna use hairstyling products, you have to wait till after the Rogaine has been absorbed. It's a hassle and a bit of a bore, but Finasteride has none of this. With Finasteride, you just pop a pill once a day and you're done. Winner, Finasteride. Side effects. Because Finasteride interferes with the hormone system, its main side effects are sexual. The 2 most common ones by far being erectile dysfunction and loss of libido. For example, a large 2003 study of about 800 men treated with Finasteride found that 8% developed impotence and 6% had loss of sexual desire. Other less common side effects were gynecomastia, headaches, dizziness, and fatigue. Minoxidil side effects are far less severe. There's 2 versions, the foam and the liquid, and in this respect, they're slightly different. The liquid contains propylene glycol, which can cause itching, redness, and irritation. The foam version, which came a few years after the liquid, doesn't have propylene glycol. So you just get the standard side effects that are caused directly by the minoxidil itself. For example, swelling, headaches, and unwanted hair growth on other parts of the body, especially if you don't apply it correctly. These kinds of side effects can obviously be annoying, but they don't really compare with anything like loss of libido or incompetence. Winner, minoxidil. Cost. Okay, so let's first compare the branded versions and then we'll look at the generics. A 3-month supply of Rogaine, be it the foam or the liquid, costs about $40 to $45. So that's about $15 a month. This compares to between $70 to $75 a month for Propecia, the branded version of Finasteride, more than a 4-fold difference. And things aren't much more competitive when we look at the generic versions. You can get a 6-month supply of generic minoxidil for around $35. This is just over $6 a month. Generic Finasteride, on the other hand, generally sells for between $20 to $25 a month. So again, Finasteride works out about 3 to 4 times more expensive. And of course, regardless if you go for the generic Finasteride or the branded Propecia, you have to add the doctor's visit to the cost. Minoxidil, on the other hand, is available without prescription. Winner, minoxidil. Our verdict. So it's time for the moment of truth. Which of the 2 medications comes out on top? Are you ready? If, and this is a big if you set aside the side effects, it's not even close. Finasteride is better. It will work for a larger percentage of men to halt hair loss and regrow hair. At the same time, it's far easier to take. When you combine these factors, the long-term efficacy together with the ease of use, you can see why there's so many long-term Finasteride users. So guys that have been using this stuff for 5, 10 or more years. But finding long-term minoxidil users is a bit of a challenge. There's just not that many of them. Now, I did qualify our verdict with that big caveat, the side effects of Finasteride, because there's going to be many guys with hair loss that are not going to touch Finasteride on account of the side effects, regardless of all other considerations. So if you're one of those guys that aren't willing to take a chance with the side effects, then there's not even a dilemma. Finasteride is out of the question. Now, if you're one of those guys that want to avoid Finasteride at all costs and are looking for a drug-free alternative to minoxidil, I have great news for you. We've just released our all-new Biogain hair loss topical serum. Biogain came about when we asked ourselves one simple question. What is the best non-pharmaceutical hair growth product we can possibly make? The result was Biogain, and it's our most powerful drug-free product to date. Its unique formula stimulates hair growth directly, just like minoxidil, and it also blocks DHT to stop the follicles from miniaturizing further. And because it's made with non-pharmaceutical ingredients, you don't get any of the complications associated with pharmaceutical ingredients. Not just that, unlike most minoxidil products, it's not greasy, it's easy to apply, and it dries off quickly. And with your first order of Biogain, we'll include a free derma roller in the package. If you've been watching our videos lately, you're all up to date with the latest science on microneedling. Microneedling or derma rolling is the quickest, safest, most effective way to boost the results of a topical treatment by up to 3 or 4 times. And not only that, we'll also include a free hair guard scalp brush with your first order of Biogain. The brush will help you get rid of the dead skin that blocks absorption, while at the same time stimulating circulation in the scalp, increasing Biogain's uptake. Get started today on the road to thicker, richer, fuller hair.